Hi, this is Christine Venus Astrology, here with your daily astrology delivery. So today the moon is in Capricorn. So Capricorn moon, it can make us feel like we have to show up to our obligations, to our goals, to what we're going after, what we're achieving. It's an energy that can feel more harsh and more serious. It's about following the rules and doing the right thing, showing up, being responsible, being in our integrity. So it's all about work and doing one's obligations and doing what we need to do and getting things done. So that can be our focus over the next 2 days with that moon in Capricorn. It's, we won't feel as emotional or as emotionally triggered when that moon is in Capricorn, because it is more, not as sensitive and not as, it's not a needy energy or anything like that. It's just about being in its integrity and doing the right thing and showing up and following the rules and working towards its goals and achieving things. So that's very much our focus of energy. So over the next day, that moon will, eventually meet here with Capricorn. So if I go, let's change this up here, to 12 hours. So if we go forward 12 hours, that moon will be at 17 degrees. So another 12, 24 degrees. So tomorrow night, when I'm talking to you about this energy, I'm going to start doing these videos at night instead of the morning, so I'm not as rushed in the mornings, I guess. And at night time I can have more time to get them done and upload them and everything like that. So anyway, so that moon will reach Pluto by the end, reach Pluto tomorrow night. So until then, that moon will, and it will oppose Cancer too. So that will be quite an interesting transit tomorrow night that we're led into, with the moon meeting with Pluto here in Capricorn. And Pluto is all about transformation and change. It's all about getting to the truth of things. It brings up things, brings up power struggles, brings up secrets. It brings up anything about trauma and healing, and again, death, birth, transformation, change, all of that are Pluto themes. Pluto is the destroyer, actually. It's that phoenix energy, so we go down into the depths, into the darkness, and then come out refreshed, renewed. So the moon and Pluto meeting together is our emotions coming to the surface, the deep truths of how we feel coming to the surface. And opposing that Venus energy is an opposition to our relationship. So there could be some truth coming up from other people, from our relationships, or we may be, feeling some kind of secrets or truth or power struggles, or tapping into some kind of energy like that in opposition with those relationships. So seeing another point of view, seeing another perspective, someone coming up in an opposition about that energy with us, some other relationship, or some kind of, we could be going through some kind of transformation of our internal self, reflecting on our internal self and going through a transformation that leads to changes or transformation in our values, in what we love, in what makes us happy. So yeah, we can be going through those sorts of energies over the next day as we go into tomorrow night as well. So we are also, in saying that too, building up to a full moon in Leo, in Aquarius, sorry. So Aquarius up here. So the moon will come into Aquarius over the next day and a half. And then it will oppose the sun down here in Leo, and that will create that opposition, and that will be that full moon, the sun and the moon. So the sun illuminating that moon, the moon reflecting the sunlight, and it's illuminating an area of our life that we need to. Full moon's always about release and letting go. So in the next couple of days, we're going to have that full moon. So some area of our life where the Aquarius energy is, we're going to be needing to release and let go. There's a culmination point, a celebration, an ending coming up, a release for us all in some way. And it looks like Saturn is going to be involved because the sun will move a couple more degrees. And Saturn will be in that conjunct the moon and opposing that energy. And Saturn's not always an easy energy to deal with because Saturn is all about restriction and boundaries and all that Capricorn moon energy, basically, we've spoken about, following the rules, doing the right thing, showing up, staying in your integrity, doing the hard work. And that Aquarius energy is about people, other people, and our social circles and organisations and governments and outside influences and the bigger picture and societies and communities and stuff like that as well. So that Saturn energy is with the moon is going to make us feel more. It's a more sobering moon, so it's not as, fluffy and as enjoyable. It's more intense and more restrictive. It's not about, that ebb and flow. It's more about coming in or, clashing up against energies, basically, because Saturn wants us to detour to another way to, to get us back on path so that we're in our integrity. It's all about being in our integrity with Saturn, doing the right thing, showing up, being responsible, following the rules, all of those things. So, and in that Aquarius energy too, it's a very tricky energy because Aquarius is also ruled by, the ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, but it's also ruled by Uranus, and Uranus doesn't like to follow the rules. It doesn't like to be restricted or held back or be told what to do. So that, again, is conflicting, and that's a conflicting, energy there with that full moon because the two rulers are in a squaring energy too. So we've got Saturn there, and Uranus is in a square at the moment, whereas Taurus at the moment down here. So yeah, down here Uranus is 18 degrees, so 22 degrees. They're within 5 degrees, within 6 degrees. They're in that square energy. And those two energies are very, very different but similar in some ways, We've got two fixed energies that don't like change, that don't like being told what to do, really, that are both very stubborn energies. And we've got a planet that wants long-term and is all about time and long-term commitments. And then we've got a planet that likes to stir and shake things up and change things and bring evolution and revolution. So, and we've got, that old wise Saturn that likes to stay doing the same thing and in the same patterns because they work and they get things done. And why change something if it's not broken? That's sort of like Saturn energy. So, whereas Uranus is all about, evolving. It's like, businesses have to evolve. They can't stay the same. And that's finances too, Our financial system is evolving. It can't always stay the same. So that's the energy we're building up to over the next few days. That moon as well So I mean, yeah, that full moon will be in a square with, you know, this crazy energy we've been having with the North Node, Uranus and Mars all conjunct. And you can see Mars is moving away from that conjunction now, but it's definitely in a square now, getting in a tight square. It's moving away from it, and by the full moon, you know, it'll be a bit further along too, but that Mars energy now in that square with Saturn is definitely, you know, because squares are all Saturn-like, they're about restriction and detouring and having to go another way or try another way or, you know, it presents difficulties and having to do a lot more hard work than normal sort of thing. So with that Mars energy too, so we've got two cardinal energies in the square, so they're both wanting to get up and go and get things done and get moving and get motivated and do things. But there's a restricted energy there where they're not quite agreeing with the right path to take or the right way forward. And they coming up against like a brick wall in a sense and need to work through that energy. So where are we feeling restricted and stuck? We're not able to take action. What's holding us back? And who's holding us back? With that Saturn energy, is it what outside influences? Governments? Is it social circles, communities? Is it groups? Is it friends? Is it the bigger picture? You know, is this Mars energy wanting to just be rebellious with that Uranus energy and just go after and do it? You know, Mars is very much my way or the highway, and that Aquarius energy and that Saturn is no, show up for the people and do the right thing. Whereas that Mars energy is no, and that Taurus energy too is like, no, I'm over here building something, something stable for me, basically. So I might leave it at that because that's a lot to digest, I guess, and work with. Yeah, the energies just throughout this next 6 months get more intense. And yeah, there's a lot more changes to come in our personal lives, in the world. We've got eclipses, more eclipses coming in November, October, November, or is it just November? November 16th or something, I think it is, that we'll have, I don't know if it's that, is the Scorpio solar eclipse it will be, which is, so eclipses, we'll talk about eclipses more when they come, but yeah, so eclipses are to eclipse things out of our life, basically, and bring new things in. It's fate train energy, as my teacher says, fate train time when we get into eclipse season. Yeah, I'm just looking at that Neptune. It keeps staring at me. That Neptune will be in sextile with the moon tomorrow night, but we'll talk about that when it comes to that then. All right, take care. Have a great night or day whenever you listen to this, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.